Welcome to Share Talk, the only podcast where investors come first.
Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Friday the 12th of February. Starting off with Argo Blockchain, where we've had decent progress since the gap higher earlier in the week, at a good support coming in at £1.10. The added excitement today, really the way that we're hoping that today's low to date at £1.30 will be the support over the next few days. While there's no end of day close back below that, we've got the top of the rising trend channel from the beginning of last month as high as 200 pence on the runway, hopefully by the end of next month. Onto AAA, which was All Active Asset Capital, one of the best performing stocks of last year. Breaking out here through the mid-January resistance at 21.5 pence. While we're above that on an end-of-day close and obviously a weekly close today, the top of a rising trend channel from October, heading now towards the 43 pence area, could be on tap as soon as the end of next month. Well-received update today from Besant, and looking at the daily chart, still in a bit of a logjam situation between 0.2 and 0.25. Still waiting on an end-of-day close or a weekly close back above 0.25, 0.26. I think the initial February peak 0.27. So clearance of that level would hopefully get the shares on their way. And as what normally happens after such a confinement, extended confinement, in this case 3 or 4 months, one would hope to see a spike higher towards the top of this broadening triangle on the daily chart from the end of June last year, as high as 0.7 pence, and that could be seen between 1 and 2 months after any breakthrough the 0.26 to 0.27 pence area. Stock which was insulted a bit, I see yesterday on social media in terms of its recent rise, but continues to rise, as many stocks have done in this kind of bull market we're in at the moment. Clear Leisure breaking through a previous resistance line target there from 2018 at 1.2 pence, and while we're above that, looking for as high as 2.25 pence by the end of the next month, which is a July 2018 resistance line projection. So hopefully a bit more to come there. On to stock which is a request, Echo Energy. A bit disappointing that we haven't already broken up here, and presumably that's the reason for the request on the stock. We've sort of dithered for the last couple of months now, looking for a break of 0.8 pence, which is a January resistance line. I think if we can break that on an end of day close basis over the next week or so, then the shares would hopefully go up and stay up. The target as high as the top of the rising July trend channel at 1.1 pence. This stage really back below the 50-day line at 0.59, really delaying the upside scenario. Easier situation, at least in terms of the last 24 hours, has been Goldstone Resources, with the gap through the previous January resistance, the peak there at 11.5 pence. So we can close, get a weekly close above that after the gap higher today. Should head pretty quickly towards the top of the broadening triangle from last year, currently predicting or pointing to a target as high as 18 pence. But gap through resistance, normally a very strong signal, and can be indicative of a multi-bagger situation. So let's see what happens there. Another requested stock is Gulf Keystone, which I haven't looked at since the good old days. Here we've got a situation where the shares just stuttering near the highs of January, so £1.57, looking for a proper clearance of that. I would say £1.60 plus should do the trick. If we get that over the next week or so, the target here for the end of March should be as high as £2. This stage only really back below 145, and the October price channel floor really delays the upside scenario for Gulfstone. Moving along to stock which I think I covered a few days ago, but I think merits a rerun. It's especially given that it was a bit of a damp Friday in terms of the bullish stocks that we've got to look at the moment. Gap through the 200-day moving average for core potash in December. That completed a bear trap island reversal. So we're on sort of the lookout for a decent push here, decent momentum, and at least while we're above the late January resistance at 0.8 pence, looking for a top of June price channel target as high as 2 pence over the next 1 to 2 months, so maybe by the end of April. A stock which created a bit of a buzz yesterday on Twitter, and quite rightly so. There was a bullish divergence there and also a break of a falling wedge in place since the end of September, so we've made good progress for Myselx Technologies. Current situation is that while we're above that broken December resistance line there around the 23 pence level on an end-of-day close basis, the target here as high as 40 pence by the end of next month, which is the top of the triangle from the end of September. Rainbow Rare Earths, a company I interviewed a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, and looks pretty solid from a fundamental point of view, also looks pretty solid from a technical point of view. We gapped higher in October, held that gap, which is normally the sign of a multi-bagger situation, and the view now is that while there's no breakback below 10 pence, a recent February support, the shares could head towards 18 pence by the end of next month at the top of the rising September trend channel. Stock of the day in terms of interest and the movement combined is Pires with the gap towards the January resistance, and as you'll be aware, very keen on gaps at the moment. Also a gap through the initial February resistance, so that was at 13.25 pence. And while we're above that, looking for 25 pence at the top of a rising August trend channel, ideally by the end of next month. Finishing off with a slow burner situation, one which has its fans and looks like it may be finally on its way. Vela, here we've got the shares just trying to break that line of resistance from September. Let's call that at 0.09, so a weekly close above that level, either this week or next week, could set the shares up for a move towards the top of the September trend channel at 0.16 by the end of next month. Stop loss and support at 0.07 or just below for those who are close to the market. That's it for me today. More updates over the weekend.
Thank you for listening. Remember to visit our website for more news and other podcasts at www.share-talk.com.